Well, so far it's been, what a crazy week. What a crazy week with the Suns, with everything going on. On a personal note, I was at a 50th birthday party for a Daniel Medina, a friend of mine. That's in real estate. They actually live down the street right here off of Alma or Dobson and Elliott. I went to school with his brother, Fellas, all through Hendricks and Dobson. Fellas is a little older than me, but I knew them from, the neighborhood. So, got to do that. That was pretty interesting, pretty fun. And got to meet their dad for the first time. Really cool dude. Reminded me of Chong from Cheech and Chong, kind of. Really artsy kind of guy. Real nice guy. Nice gentleman. You can tell they have a good family. Also went right after that, I had to go to my buddy Ryan Borzi's concert. His band was playing at BLD. Have you ever heard of BLD? Breakfast, lunch, drinks, right down the street on German and Dobson. Pretty good food.
Yeah,
but
I've been there once.
yeah, their band is called The Turning Soldier. So next time they're going to play, I think they're playing at Ginger Monkey soon. I will let everyone know through our social media and through our show when we find out. What did you do this week? What's new with Danny?
For me, I had to walk away from a house offer I put in. There was just a lot of problems with the house. It's an open door property, and after inspections, I did 3 inspections, just the general, the roof, and HVAC. The HVAC and roof were at the end of their life, so that was between $20,000 to $30,000 fix.
Easy.
And tried to negotiate it with Open Door, but it didn't work out. I guess for them in the negotiation, rather, as long as it's functional, that price should be on the buyer. I didn't agree with that, so I ended up walking away because I knew that 20 grand floating really soon.
Real soon.
Will hit me sooner than I'd like to. It's just these open door properties. Like, I've seen a lot of them, and they just don't fix them.
No.
They don't fix them. I guess it's just at the time when the run-up of 2020, 2021, 2022, people are waiving inspections, so just buy it, flip it real quick, sell it. All they do is just put paint and some carpet, cheap carpet, and call it a day.
Absolutely. That's their upgrade.
So walked away from that, looked at other properties. There's another one I really liked, built in 2019, so I don't have to worry about a new roof, new HVAC. It looked good from the naked eye.
Yep.
We'll double check with the inspections, but I feel pretty good that the inspection will come out very well. Pursuing that and just had the offer accepted.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Now let our fans know what city is that in?
Santan Valley. Not even an established city yet.
Wow.
So it's out in the boonies.
Someone's gonna need an electric car here soon.
Yeah, but the affordability though, if you want anything
Correct.
decent under 400,000,
I know. That's so crazy.
right in the Phoenix area. I mean, there's rough areas of Phoenix I could live in, but
For more money too.
I mean, you could find some places under 400 in the Phoenix area, but they're pretty rough neighborhoods.
They're really rough neighborhoods.
Really rough neighborhoods. So I don't want to put myself and my girlfriend through that situation. So we'll just go somewhere on the outskirts. Let everything develop around it so its property value appreciates.
And just so our viewers know, Danny still has a girlfriend, so that's fantastic. Kristen, if you're listening, thank you. You are a godsend. Just kidding.
She puts up with me.
Yeah, I don't know. It took us a long time, but that's okay.
With that, I mean, we could segue into some housing data.
Yeah,
in
let's
Maricopa County.
bore everyone right now. Just kidding. Go ahead and put the data out there.
So for Maricopa County, for those of you house shopping and whatnot, thinking there might be a crash in the future, maybe there is not. I mean, we'll look over the data and you tell us what you think by what we have up here. This is the Redfin weekly data on the housing market. Last update was April 30th. So the time of this recording on May 7th, so that's a week ago. So new listings has been fairly flat since beginning of February, but it's still below the last 3 years. Of course, here in this red line is 2020, but what happened in that time?
A thing called COVID.
Yes, the lockdowns was happening that time. Then 2021 is flat around this time in the summer, but then this black line is 2022, but this went up. So why is that?
Rates were low.
Rates were low. And then up to here in the peak about June, it went down. What happened?
Rates started to go up. The Fed started to raise the rates, and look how bad that dropped. Wow.
Huge drop, right?
For those that aren't seeing it, it just went down.
Oh, yes, we have viewers on Spotify and
iTunes.
So what we're looking at is a graph of the new listings and how they went up and down. So right now, from the beginning of the year, it climbed back up with new listings and then stayed flat. Fourth, where new
Very
listings are at,
stagnant,
right?
yep.
So new listings for the past month has been 1,300 new listings. Now, pending sales,
We're going up.
they're going up. Pending sales are going up. I mean, I'm one of those pending sales that walked away, but then I just started a new one within
Yep.
within a month's time frame. But it crossed over the pandemic scare right here with the lockdowns, but then it shot right back up. But this blue line could cross last year's of pending sales
It
pretty
can.
soon. So it could also cross up to this orange line, which is 2021.
Well, real quick, what people don't know, the Fed did raise the rate a quarter point, 25 basis points, but rates didn't go up. So
Actually, they've been going down. You know why?
you're going to tell us.
I'm going to tell you, because of the bank failures.
Yes.
Because remember when SVB failed and First Republic failed,
Yep.
rates dropped. And then we're having this whole situation with other banks failing right now.
Yep.
So rates are dropping again.
Well, we have more and more failing. There's more and more, but I have my own thought about that. I think, like I said before, the big banks are coming in and scooping up all these smaller banks. I think it's easier to control 4 or 5 banks than it is to control thousands of little ones.
Absolutely, because was it JP Morgan just scooped up one of the regional banks that failed?
Yep.
So off market within 2 weeks. It's about to cross the 2020 pandemic scare. But this trajectory, if it keeps going in the summer, it could cross last year's down.
Downtrend from last year's. Yep.
Homes sold. So it's been fairly flat since February.
Yeah, about 1,300 a month.
I mean, this trajectory that's slightly going up. I mean, who's to say if it's going to keep going up or might just stay flat? It could pass the lockdown scare.
They should pass the lockdown because no one could buy anything. There's like 3 whole months where you couldn't go outside.
Yes, but also if it stays, I think it's going to stay a little bit flatter. It could cross last year's, but last year's was like we were looking at 7% rather of interest rates. We're at about low 6s right now.
Correct. Depending on where you go, but yes.
Yes, absolutely. New listing median price. So people are still listing their prices today high. Almost not as bad as last year's,
Correct.
because right now we're looking at median listing price in Maricopa County at 496,000, almost half a million.
Wow.
Last year at this time frame was 514 rather, if you round up.
But that's
Really
not
close.
it, though. Think about that price, 513 last year, but with those high rates, I mean, you can't afford a lot.
No.
You're house poor. A lot of people, it drives me crazy how high rates are and how high housing is at the same time.
Now, you'd think with the rates going up, prices would go down, but what's causing that? What's causing housing prices to not go down?
There's not enough houses on the market.
Exactly, it's the inventory. I believe that if we do go into a recession and inventory is still low, housing probably won't get the big drop like we saw in the
I don't think
2008
so
drop.
either. Yeah, you're right. I don't think so either. If there's like what you're saying right now, if there's no inventory, housing's not going to go down. It can't drop. I mean, there's always, remember in 2008, the reason why housing went down is everyone and their mother were trying to sell and unload properties and unload second homes and investment homes, and it just flooded the market with tons of homes, and that's why housing went down. If there's a recession, which I don't know, I don't have a crystal ball. If there's a recession and there's no inventory or hardly lack of inventory, you're not going to see housing drop as much as what people think it is. But if you have cash on the sidelines, you might be able to scoop up some properties. Like we talked about before, the commercial properties are going to go down a lot.
Yes.
That I'm going to see. I've been reading a lot that if you have money on the side, you can scoop up commercial properties, sit on it, and then resell them.
So, I was thinking about commercial properties, but those could just, who's going to want them if they become, if it's just littered with homeless people in that area? Who wants to go to work to those properties? I think the only commercial properties are the ones that flow with the new inventory of homes that are in the outskirts. No one wants to go to downtown anymore.
No one's going to
The downtown commercial properties, I think they're screwed. But the ones that are just spread out more, I think those will be okay. Because who goes to downtown? You have to deal with a lot.
It's garbage,
right?
The parking, you have to pay for parking. Always construction in downtown Phoenix, and it's just
super congested, lots of homeless. It's frustrating.
More and more homeless. Yeah, it's getting pretty crazy.
So the graph I have here for Maricopa County is the median sale price. So there is a trajectory that's slightly going up. So right now, median home sales are $455,000 in Maricopa County.
That's a lot. That's a lot. 455. That's medium home sales.
It's still 8% less year over year.
Yeah.
So there's a correction, right? Because last year at this time frame was about almost 500,000.
Yep.
Almost 500,000. But of course, 2 years ago, just 2 years ago, it was
400,000.
Just under 400,000, which is insane. But because of the inventory, this could be the level off. Maybe we'll see a little bit more dip towards the winter. Maybe it'll level out in the low 400s, maybe.
I'm looking at your graph. Going to 2020. Look, you're doing the averages. Go to the lowest point of 2020 during COVID. 307,000. That's when you should have bought.
Yep. Right before the lockdowns, 301,000.
Mm-hmm.
But who would have known with COVID?
Yep.
When COVID was hitting, I thought housing was going to go down, but the exact opposite happened.
So you buy at 301. Go to the top of 2022, the top of the market. There you go.
Peak in June,
509.
So you would have profited almost 200,000.
Our sister sold last June.
Yes, she did. She basically doubled.
She doubled her price of her house. We can't say how much. She bought for X amount, 400,000, and then sold for 800,000. That's awesome.
Great for her.
Yeah.
I feel bad for the people who bought it because they're underwater immediately.
Oh yeah, they're already underwater because look how much it already dropped from then.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, a 2-year shift.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That inflates way too fast.
But that's the conversation we have too. Is you did sell at the top. Everyone wants to sell at the top. Actually, Robert and his mom sold at the top of the market.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations.
That's our brother-in-law and his mom.
Our favorite brother-in-law. Yes, Robert. Just kidding. Is he? No, he pretty much is. Clinton's there. He's right behind him. But
days to close right now. Median days to close is 17 days, which is a lot shorter than any of the past 3 years. So if you want to sell that house, or if you want to buy a house, you have to be the one who can close the fastest.
Not necessarily close the fastest, but put an offer in right away.
Mm.
And they're probably going to do the whole BS of they want either cash offers or a conventional loan. I don't know why they look down on FHA loans. Sometimes they think it takes longer. No, it doesn't. And VAs, they're fully guaranteed. Why wouldn't you take a VA loan? The
offer I just got accepted on had 3 other offers. And they were most attracted to mine because I would close the fastest. That's why they went with me.
Nice.
Maybe it's because it's a VA loan too. I don't know. Let's look at active listings right now. So here's 2023 with active listings. So it's projecting down in Maricopa County. So we're looking at 14,300 active listings.
That's pretty low.
At the end of April.
Yeah.
And it's projecting down still. So it crossed 2022. Of course, this was the pandemic. 2020. This is the pandemic scare.
Yeah.
Now its trajectory, it looks like it could cross last year by June, the earliest.
Yeah, it looks like the beginning of June. That was just only a month away.
Because active listings in Maricopa County were really low in 2021.
Yeah.
So there could be a problem with inventory.
Oh, 2021 is just all inventory. I remember that.
It could be really low to 2021 levels.
Look how low the inventory was in 21. That's crazy.
Yeah, we're looking at
10,000. Wow.
so yeah, 10,000 active listings last year. Not last year, 2021 rather.
I was talking to a realtor the other day, and they told me that normal active listings like around 40,000. I was like, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
However, with this year compared to the last 3 years, median days on market is still at 49 days. That's the most out of all of them. Because
That's what you're just talking about is very important that people know is how long your house is sitting on the market that you're trying to sell. 50 days is, so you're looking at 2 months to be.
so what is this is what confuses me. So median days on the market longer, active listings dropping. So is it just the more desirable homes being snatched up right away?
Oh yeah, there's still the houses that are beat up. They're gonna be on there. They're gonna get they're
The
gonna
open
change
door
price.
houses?
The open door, yeah. Open door, Zillow, all those companies that
iBuying homes, yeah.
the iBuys, 72 and sold. They sit longer for a reason because they bought high. We did a little bit, like you said earlier, refurnish a little bit, paint and new carpet,
Minimum stuff.
minimum stuff, and try to get $100,000 for it. Realized market took a tank. This is just last year, and now they can't get rid of the property. So
So yeah, it's hard to correlate. I'm going back to active listings. It's downwards by a lot. Median days on the market is still higher than the last 3
Yep.
years. So there's certain properties that are out there that's undesirable. Fixer uppers, people who's willing to do the TLC type work.
Yep.
I mean, they have to get a good deal because right now they're selling those houses as if they're like just as good as the houses that are in good condition.
correct.
Price drops, slowing down on price drops. There are still price drops. 6.5% of listings in the past month have had
Yeah.
a price drop.
There's still a lot of negotiating going on. You're able
Yes.
to go and negotiate and not like the price or get closing costs get built in, have them pay for it. But, you go and look at houses, you can negotiate. You talk to your realtor talks to the other one and negotiates for you. And they tell you, hey, this is what they're thinking. And I mean, both realtors, they want to get the deal. So they're
wanna
going
get the deal.
to talk to each other.
What would you say? Is it a little bit of a seller's market, a little bit of a buyer's market?
I don't buy
'Cause
into buyer seller's market. It's just an open market. Right now, I would think because of the inventory, it's still a seller's market to a point. But then you go back to buyer's market because it's always a buyer's market if you're able to negotiate and get less. So I guess it is a buyer's market because you can go in there and have them pay your closing costs and say, hey, I want you to pay 3% of my closing costs. So all I have to do is the down payment. So yeah, it's probably a buyer's market. A little bit. I'm teetering 60-40 buyer's market.
Yeah. Probably more sellers for more desirable property, I'd say.
Scottsdale and like the nicer properties. yes.
Properties have been kept well because I've seen some that have been kept well, and I feel
Yes.
like okay, this price does sound like it's listing price.
Yep.
Because there's properties I'm like, are you sure you want this for $400,000? There's a
know.
lot of work that needs to be
There's-
done with this place.
Yep.
Floors suck. They're hollow. There's holes here and there that they try to patch up.
Those are the ones that they're trying to get a quick buck and trying to get one over on someone, saying, hey, you want to live in this neighborhood? I have a house. Here you go. I want 10% more than the average house, and you either take it or leave it. And they're hoping someone takes it. And there's always a taker. There's always someone who's going to say, okay, I'll buy it.
So, I mean, that's about all the data I'd like to go over, but it's been significant. Let me turn this off. But overall, right now, just to conclude with the housing market,
Hey, real quick, can you see my hat?
yes,
What does it say on it?
Phoenix Suns.
Let's talk some basketball. Come
right.
on.
Switch
Let's talk
over.
some basketball. Sunday, game's going to be on. Real quick, just want to give an update on the game that's going on right now. Celtics are down 77-63 in the third quarter.
Let me bring up the bracket here.
Bring the bracket. Let's just go East Coast real quick. Let's go over to that Celtics game. Boston's up 2-1. It looks like if Philly keeps the momentum, they'll be tied 2-2. 2-2. Who'd you pick for that? Wait, I think we both said Sixers.
No, I said Celtics for this one.
I think we both said Celtics then. I can't remember who I picked. I think I said Celtics. Yeah, I said Celtics.
So, and the 76ers are a great team, too.
Good. But they could win it. They either or can win. And I can see either or in the finals. But my pick for the East that I want personally in there, that I wouldn't bet on it, but I want to see in there is the Heat. Right? The Heat versus the Knicks. I used to be a Knicks fan. I gave up on them. I just did. Once they got rid of Carmelo, there's no reason for me to root for them. The management sucks. I feel they don't know what they're doing. And then I just caught the Phoenix Suns bug. You know, we live here. It's everywhere. And when they got KD, I was like, whoa. And I'm a big Devin Booker fan. You know, if people don't know, he's half Hispanic. That's really cool. Drives around a lowrider. Dude, that's the dude right there. And he's good. He's really good, you know.
Oh, yeah.
My wife thinks he's hot, which sucks, but whatever. It's going to happen. You know, a lot of chicks are going to think he's cute. You know, I can see it. What, you know, it is what it is.
Well, he's cute. He's rich. And he's
That's why I keep telling everyone, like, dude, you're not ugly. You're just poor. Right? It's just, look at all these, like, the Kardashian girls. They weren't good looking at all when they were little. The Jenners, you know, even the Kardashians, you know, they get money. Look at Tom Brady from draft day to now. Dude.
Well, did he have any work on his face done?
He had to have work.
You think so?
Oh,
on Tom
100%.
Brady?
I'm not a betting man, but there's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
Let's get back on basketball. So, where'd you finish off?
Heat. We're talking about the Heat.
We're talking about the Heat.
I love the Heat right now.
They're 2-1 right now.
Jimmy Buckets is the man. Jimmy, you are the man. I'm happy about this. They're up 2-1. Hopefully they get, again, I want them to play the Suns. That'd be a dream matchup for me. Suns winning, of course, but I don't know if either team's going to get there, so we'll see.
All right. I think I said I don't remember who I said.
I think you said Knicks.
I think I said Knicks.
Yeah, you said Knicks. But that's okay. Let's not go to the Suns yet. Let's go Lakers Warriors. Did you watch the game last night?
Yes. Well, Lakers played at home and they just beat down on the Warriors.
Dude. Did you see the way AD played? And he can't do that every game. Out of his mind dunks, alley-oops to him. He was just, dude, he's like watching NBA jams. He was just destroying them. Like, here you go. I was like, where's Curry? Where's that Thompson or whatever, Klay Thompson on the bench? Like, he looked like he was going to cry. I was like, you know, was Draymond even playing? You know, I know he was, but he had like 0 points at one time, 4 fouls right away. Dude, they owned him. They absolutely owned him. And I was series 2-1. I mean, it's the Warriors, though. They're loaded. They can come back. That's the thing about a 7-game series. You can give up a game or two, get punched in the face really bad, and you can come back and win. Doesn't matter if you lose by 20, 30, whatever they lost. As long as they come back, win by 1 next game, no one's going to care about the score. There's no aggregates in NBA. So I think I had Lakers.
I said Warriors. I remember that.
I can't remember who I have. I can't remember what I just ate too. So I think I had the Warriors as well, and I wanted the Lakers because I think as a Suns fan, I'd rather play the Lakers because I know AD's not going to do that the whole series. He's going to get hurt. He always gets hurt. But we'll see. Let's go to the series that we care about. That's going to be on later on today. Is the Suns versus the Nuggets. That's a big series. Joker's a stud. Oh, I hate Joker. He's so good.
Dude, I think he's giving DeAndre Ayton a tough time. He's so demoralized when he's up against him one-on-one.
It's sad because Ayton is getting beat up. Like, he is getting his lunch taken away every time Joker comes in. He's not that guy.
Can't compete with him because I mean, DeAndre Ayton's really good against a lot of other centers. But he's playing the best one.
He's playing the best. I think one of the best players in the NBA. He owns them every time he comes in, dude. He cannot stop Joker.
I think it's just the strategy is AD. You just have to play defense against this guy. Yep. The ball's going to Booker and Kevin Durant. Because we give you the ball, you just can't make those buckets half the time.
He can't make the little layups. He can't hold on to the ball. He scares me.
He doesn't pay attention half the time.
I
Gets that
that's
ball
what I
stolen
saw.
a
That's
lot.
what I saw. Yeah, he's just. I don't know, man. I don't want to talk bad about him because I really want him to wake up. Gosh, he needs to wake up, and he can. I've seen flashes of greatness before, but Devin Booker and KD can't be high octane like that every game. They're going to get worn out. You know, they both really kicked butt last game, and just they can't keep doing it. You know, Cameron Payne can't even make a floater. That guy disappoints me, but I get it. You know, he doesn't play much. Whatever excuse. Chris Paul needs to come back.
Yeah, well, Payne has a different tempo as well.
Yeah,
He's more fast paced.
He's fast paced, but he can't make a shot.
He makes like half of them, I'd say.
Not even. The other day, he was like 1 for 7. And I was like, get him out.
But he makes some bad decisions for
He makes a
sure.
lot of bad decisions. Because he's not one of the star players, so he wants to prove himself at the wrong time.
Sure, he wants to be hungry. I get that. But I think the strategy is like, hey, Aiden cannot compete with Joker at all. You're just
No.
there to defend him. You get the ball, you pass it to someone who's going to score because you're probably not going to make it over Joker.
You know who really surprises me right now? Not surprises me, but I appreciate more is Jamal Murray.
Oh, sure.
Gosh, he's good.
On the other team, yeah.
He's good. This is the team that the Suns beat 4-0. And now we're up 2-1. We had a big lead at the end and it got close, remember? And I was like, oh, here we go again. Let's see what happens today. Today's going to be big because they're coming back to Phoenix no matter what. Not if they lose. If they lose, then they could wrap up in Denver. But if the Suns win today, they have to come back for game 6, which is good. So they have to win. I mean, every game is a must win, but this is a must win to be able to play game 6 and then go back into game 7. We could win game 7 in Denver. I think our crowd's better than their crowd. But
I think with seeing Monty Williams change up the bench, he's using Warren and Ross more.
do you like Monty?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
No, he's a brilliant coach by all means.
Is
I mean,
he?
yeah, he has his bad moments, sure. He's looking at the Phoenix Suns today when they were before.
Yeah, but I think it's Monty doesn't have a bench. And that was my biggest concern trade deadline is you got to get role players. What's your rotation? Are you going to go 8 men? Are you going 9 men? You can't go 7.
Well, a lot of frustrations coming in with the fans about using Shamit. Is Shamit being used for defensive purposes? Because when I see him shoot, he misses a lot lately.
Yeah, he
During the
does.
season, he was good, but in the playoffs, it's just like his buckets are not going in. But Warren's been proving himself a little bit.
TJ Warren hasn't played for 2 years either. Remember that. He got
Yeah.
injured.
And then, well, yeah. But now, I mean, his last game was pretty good.
Well, he did
For
all
a
right.
bench.
Yeah,
For a
yeah,
bench.
For a bench.
For a bench. And
I'd rather see Warren out there than Payne, but that's just me.
yeah, they're different
They're
positions,
different
though.
players too.
But Ross, for the 3-point shoot guy, I trust him right now.
At least someone does.
Is that enough on Suns, or is there anything
No,
else?
that's all I have for the Suns. Hopefully next week we can have some good news. What's next on the topic here? Tucker Carlson. What's this? Gets a great job offer, $100 million, and president of the company. What company is this? Let's see. Tucker Carlson, the $100 million man. That's the price that Patrick Bet David, one of my new favorite people, CEO of Valuetainment, as he offered Carson a job in the open letter posted to Twitter. You know, you can go and look at, you know, watch the videos yourself. Valuetainment, before we get into the Tucker Carlson, what do you think of Valuetainment?
I love Valuetainment.
Love's a strong word.
I've been following his YouTube for a very long time. He's just a hustler. You get that vibe from him. He sells. And you can kind of tell a person's personality that they succeed in sales by their attitude and how they present themselves and talk.
I love the fact that he's an immigrant and he loves America. And how he came here, worked his butt off, and achieved the American dream.
Yeah.
He, like you said, he is a hustler. I love watching his stuff. He has great guests. He has great values. I mean, he's the dude right now, I think. But this whole thing with Carson Tucker, I'll tell you why he won't go there. Okay? $100 million is a lot of money. This is all rumor, speculation. I think that Carson Tucker has something big going. And when I say big, I think he has something with Elon Musk.
Oh my God.
That's the
Where'd you
rumor.
hear this rumor?
I hear that. I hear that from my guys in the back room.
Okay.
They said
That's a
they were
lot.
telling me that, hey, this is why he hasn't even addressed this offer. He's not listening to anyone. He's hanging out. He already has someone else in his ear that is drowning out everything else. Nothing can touch this. Because imagine Carson Tucker hands free on Twitter, and it could propel him if he wants to go into politics or if he wants to keep doing the news stuff. What channel? Or maybe him and Elon Musk create a media company, and Valuetainment might be part of it or something. You never know. There could be something like that. I know Fox News is going down. Supposedly, there's more people on the chopping block for their channel. So we'll see about that.
So he's going to MSNBC?
No.
Just kidding.
No.
Or back to CNN?
No. I think he's not going to go big media. Big media on TV is going down. Because if you look at the numbers, most people on like Valuetainment and stuff like that, they got bigger numbers than MSNBC.
People trust them versus CNN, Fox News,
Well, 'cause
MSNBC.
all those people have a narrative,
Mm-hmm.
right? They all spit out the same thing. Who do you trust? I like watching. You know who else I like watching? Russell Brand.
Yeah.
He is entertaining, But I feel like all these people are a little more right wing than centered, and I'm trying to find someone that's centered, or maybe even left, because I want to get that viewpoint. Right? I got friends that, they're pretty lefty, and they tell me their thing. I'm like, okay, who do I watch?
Mm-hmm.
Point me to who you watch so I can get your point of view. And I'll watch both and I'll get my own opinion. But yeah, right now, Carson Tucker looking at, making some money. I think he'll make more than $100 million that he was offered. Although Valuetainment, they're a great group of guys. $100 million is $100 million, right? What do you think on that?
I'm going to take this off. 100 million, that's hard. It's hard to say no to that. And to be a president of the company. So you have a lot of say in things for 5 years. And that's a lot of confidence to really boost a company. So it's for Patrick Bet-David.
Patrick Bet-David, yep.
It's a good move for him. And
100%.
even if he says no, if Tucker says no, hey, Patrick Bet-David just got himself, he exposed his company more because people are talking about it.
Correct.
So people are going to check out his channel more, and he just boosts himself whether Tucker Carlson says yes or no.
He did talk to Megyn Kelly. He announced it on Megyn Kelly's show that he did that offer.
Yes.
So that's interesting.
So it's I wish him the best. I'm sure he has something going. Tucker Carlson has a lot of money on the table that he can make something big with it.
But I think he's looking to see what he can do. Like I said, it's
Looking
not
at
just
his
about
options.
money. Mm-hmm. It's about who's going to get him to the finish line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what's a better career move? Is he really talking to Elon Musk? Because that's a big deal if he's talking to Elon Musk.
Like be the president for Twitter and really emphasize freedom of speech
or just be the president, period.
Mm-hmm.
Because with Twitter, that could propel him.
Well, Elon Musk is a CEO, but he needs a strong right-hand man.
That could be, he could be say, hey, here's Twitter. I want you to be on Twitter, and you can do your thing on Twitter. Maybe, or create a media company that also goes on to Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a Valuetainment for Tucker and other people, like the Shapiros in the world and stuff like that. Because there's a lot of talent that's coming up,
Mm-hmm.
So it'd be interesting because there's enough people to pick up and create a channel. You pick us up, we're not going to cost that much.
We're just starting, so we're almost at 100 subscribers. So thank you everyone for subscribing.
I emailed Patrick Bet the other day at Valuetainment. It's like 100 million. I think me and Danny can do it for 10. No response.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd be like, how many subscribers you got?
He's probably like, who are these guys? Delete, which is fine. It's cool. We're more, whatever. Do this for fun.
When we get more established,
Yes.
I think we'll probably get picked up in the future.
What
but
is
right now,
next?
Let's pull this up.
This is just everywhere. The whole trans. Jazz Jennings is the big one that people were talking about this week. I watched a little bit of the videos, watched the commentary. Are we allowed to play this?
Yeah, we play it. You want me to play a little bit
Yeah, let's play a little bit.
on the front? Okay.
Now she's going to keep that brain. So he may never be fully
Pause it real quick.
as long as it's disgusting.
So what we're watching right now is it's Matt Walsh's reaction to Jazz Jennings' reaction to Matt Walsh's conversation about Jazz Jennings. I know it sounds complicated or what I just said, like a tongue twister, but that's the gist. Go ahead, DJ, hit play.
It's just really hard to watch that. People like are so intent on bringing our community down. I don't care. Let us just be. Let us be happy. Let's be ourselves. We're not hurting anyone. You know, we need to celebrate each other and our diversity, not bring each other down. Anytime you're wishing death on anyone, I think you need to take a step back and look at yourself and, you know, whatever's going on with you. My mom is not the abuser. People like him are the ones abusing us by saying these awful negative things about our community. You know, we are under attack, and it is clear in this video that there are people out there who want to hurt us, who want to see us fail, who want to see us be miserable, and that's really up because we're not wishing that upon anyone. We just want people to open their eyes and see that we are beautiful, everyone is beautiful, and everyone deserves to be their authentic self. Our messages are about love, about positivity, and just to see someone like this saying such negative things, it's, you know, it's hurtful. It sucks. My whole life I have faced bullying. I have faced people, you know, attacking me and my identity, and I just wish people would let me be. You know, why do you? Oh, it's so frustrating.
Now, I was
Real quick before you go to that, we're going to listen to Matt's reaction to that. But I didn't hear him wishing death on her.
I didn't either.
I think they're just thinking that, and that's dangerous, right? Mm-hmm. Because people that don't know, that are supportive of Jazz, are going to believe what Jazz says, right? That's where it gets a slippery slope. Well, this guy wants us to be dead. He never said that. And I think this explanation is going to tell us.
Imagine that bullying. I feel like every victimization now is bullying. So what is bullying now? Someone makes a bad comment on you on the internet now? That's considered bullying? I mean, what is the line for like real bullying? Is it like when you get your butt kicked by someone just because of who you are? Sure, that's bullying. Maybe get teased in school is bullying. I mean, I guess there is cyberbullying.
Yeah, that's
like
a big one.
If that follows you, but I mean, where's the line on cyberbullying? Is it the cyberbullying coming from school, or is it just random people across the country where you could just easily ignore them?
You can ignore it across the world, but you can't ignore school.
Sure, the school I understand for that type of cyberbullying, but
Let's hear a little bit of Matt.
yeah,
I was going to respond to this just sort of in general terms, but I think instead I'd like to be more direct. Jazz has addressed me directly, asked me questions, and I'd like to answer them. So, Jazz, first of all, I understand why you're frustrated that people are talking about you and from your perspective, involving themselves in your private life. You are absolutely right that your conversation with your mother that we saw there about your own deep emotional and psychological pains should not have been a public spectacle. I never should have seen that or heard it. Nobody should have. But I didn't make it a public spectacle. And I didn't make you into a public figure. Your mom did that. She did it way before you could have possibly chosen any of this for yourself. She had you on 2020 and starring in Oprah Winfrey specials. When you were a young child, she had a camera in front of your face. She was parading you around as a mascot for transgenderism at an age when, you know, when I was that age, I was spending my time watching cartoons and playing outside in the woods. And I wish that you had a childhood like that. You deserved to have that kind of childhood. But your mom took that away from you. She was more interested in monetizing you, using you as a vehicle to promote her ideology. And it's proven to be an effective vehicle, which is why I have to respond. You want to be left alone. I get that. I wish that you were left alone way back when you were a child, left to simply be a child. That's the life you should have had. You had a right to it. And it was taken from you by the adults in your life, especially your mom. And I'm sorry that it was taken from you. I truly am. Listen, even if it was somehow true that you really are a female. You need to go through this necessary process of becoming your true.
I think that's enough, right?
Yeah, I
Pretty
mean,
got the gist of what he's trying to say.
saying that someone else made decisions for her when she was a child. That's another slippery slope. Is that though I'm for transgenderism rates, and for them to be who they want to be when they're an adult and they choose for themselves. But when they're like a child and their child is like, oh, I feel like a different gender, they probably don't know what they're talking about at that point, and the
Yeah.
parents go with it.
There's two sides of that, of course. But I see more and more, even like, I don't want to say my circle of friends, but like my friends' friends that I know, kids at school, that their parents are allowing them to wear, the boys to wear dresses in second grade and changing their names, and I'm just like, okay, I'm not here to judge, but what's your reasoning? Like I said before, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a pirate. Can you imagine if mom would have said, okay, let's cut your leg off, put a stub on, put a patch over your eye? I'd be pissed off right now.
Irreplaceable damage.
But where does it end? Because one side says, oh, I know what I am. No one knows me better than a 10-year-old girl that wants to be a boy, or vice versa. I don't know, man. I don't know where to draw the line. Do you say as a parent, no, you're not? Wait till you're 18 and you can decide. It's kind of like if you allow children to go ahead and make those decisions at 12, 10 years old, then why wouldn't you let those kids, same kids, just go get a tattoo? Go ahead and get plastic surgery.
Well, a tattoo you can now take off. Plastic surgery, maybe not as easily,
Yeah.
but something you can't replace, such as, of course, genitals, right? I mean, like you said with the pirate, like, okay, you're 10 years old, you want to be a pirate, put your hand down, let's cut it off. Because you're never going to get that back.
Yeah.
We'll put a hook on.
Let's put a hook on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're never going to get it back again. Are you sure at 10 years old you can make this final
You
decision?
can't. We both know you can't make that decision.
No.
And
Me-
if my kid said that to me, and this is just me, I'd be like, "You're right. Let's go ahead and play with this for a year, and we'll talk about it in 365 days."
But now saying, I'm a boy, but I believe I'm a girl. Therefore, let's just chop off my cock and balls right now. It's like you're 10 years old. You have no idea what you're talking about.
That is some big time damage. And then you have you in the back of your mind, you got to think, if you do that and you allow your kids to do that, when they realize I made a mistake, why did you allow this to happen? I can't have a normal life. Then this suicidal tendencies come up, right?
Minus the chopping off of body parts. I mean, if it's a boy says I'm a girl, just let him wear girl clothes and just call it a day until he figures out, you know what, this is probably not for me, and goes back.
Again, I don't know the answers. The family members we have, they're all adults and they're transitioning. So good for them
As adults, yeah.
as adults.
You're an adult. You're fully capable of
You've
making
earned the
decisions
right
on
to
your
do
own.
whatever you want. You're out from under your parents' roof. Their job was to get you past the finish line in high school, make sure you became a good citizen. And if you want to change, hey, go ahead. I have no problem with that. I don't want to say issue, but I do have qualms with doing that to young kids.
Who's ultimately responsible for young kids?
The parents.
Yep, exactly. And now, when that kid becomes an adult, just has a sliver of regret or sliver of
It's the
discontent.
parents.
Yeah, go after the parents. Parents are ultimately responsible
You
for
could
it.
probably sue your parents.
Probably.
Guarantee you could. I don't know. It's a crazy thing. But going back to Jazz Jennings, she has her own show on TLC that a lot of people actually, I didn't know this, but it's been 8 seasons. They've been covering her since 6 years old, and interesting show. I saw it just because I wanted to get more information about Jazz Jennings. Saw a clip of it. It's just a regular reality show, but they're going to the doctor or they're talking to medical people, and I'm just like, holy cow, this is a real thing. I'm watching this on TV going, this is really going on in the world. There are doctors out there probably making a ton of money on doing these services. And I remember one of the doctors on there was like, well, it's not like we've done this 50 times. This is we just barely started doing this. And
Yep.
we're hoping, big word, hoping that this is going to work. And the parents are like, well, they're doctors. They should know what they're doing. No, they're not. It's called practicing medicine. Doctors practice medicine.
That's why you sign all those waivers.
Exactly. Because there's a good chance they screw up.
Good chance they screw up, or they cannot be blamed for the decision you made.
To better yourself. But there's always complications. Not every body is the same when it comes to doctors. But I learned that from my roommate Joey. He's a doctor, and he's like, "Hey, Luke, when I was told about getting surgery, and they're like, he told me not to do it. He's like, they just want to do it because they, remember we're practicing medicine. They're practicing. They're gonna practice on you. Don't do it." I'm like, cool. So I took his advice, didn't get surgery. I'm good. So that's what's going on with this transgender. There's not enough surgeries, like not enough data of what happens to you down the road. And there will be, though, 10, 20 years down the road.
I'm sure we'll get mixed data from different places, different sources. People are happy with what they have. Then you get data, people saying they regret what they have. What's the percentages? Which one do you want to believe?
Correct. And I'm like, whatever makes you happy, man. If you're 18 and over, I have no problem. No problem.
I mean, I argue 18 is still too young.
Yeah, but it's their decision.
It's
I'm
still-
cool with it.
But I mentioned this before. Like, there needs to be like phases of like, okay, this is what you want to do. Let's come back next year. We'll call that phase 1. Do you still feel strong about this?
Correct.
And then you're 19. Your mind could easily change from 18 to 19. Just like the kids change their career paths all the time. They change their college majors all the
Yep.
time.
They change their majors all the time. So this almost, I don't want to say same thing, but you get the gist, right? Like,
Yeah.
I
Like,
mean,
this
how many
requires
times?
deep thought.
Yep. It's like in junior high and high school, you change your mind on what girl you like. Mm-hmm. Well, I like her. And then she does something or changes her hair or something. You end up liking someone else. Like you change your mind on things. Like one year you might like a certain type of pizza, and then you try pineapple pizza and you're like, oh, this is good. You grow out of that phase because it's gross.
Yeah.
No one should have pineapple on pizza, but
When I was, in junior high, I did not like sushi. Now I love sushi.
I love sushi.
It's just stuff like that. Like, are you
I
really sure
hated
you?
sushi younger.
Yeah, it's just. I'm just using that as an analogy
Yeah.
of like these are huge, impactful decisions. But
Correct.
if you're old enough, I say mid 25s, I think that's a good place to be like, I want to transition. You've had some life experience, and if you're happy, I'm all for it.
There should be independent counselors, not the counselors that the doctors have, but independent counselor giving you the pros and cons, not telling you it's all butterflies and rainbows, but to say, well, there are people that have not liked their transition and go from there.
There's people who liked it, but you've always been a man. This is what the life is like as a woman. This is how you be treated. This is what women typically deal with. Although you won't have what women have, like a cycle. But I
Right.
don't know. It's just a different everything.
Well, we have something similar to what we're talking about. Let's jump into Mr. Beast. Do you know Mr. Beast?
Yeah, he's not like the biggest YouTuber now.
Oh, my kids love Mr. Beast.
Does a lot of kids videos and stuff.
I was like, who is this guy? And I started watching it. It's pretty cool. Like, he does a lot for the communities. He helps fix 500 people's blindness recently, and just and of course the 500th and first person was mad because they didn't get to get healed or whatever. You're always gonna have those people, but kind of to the Jazz Jennings thing, he has someone on his group, which is the original guys. So Mr. Beast is a group of guys that do things, and they got big and they started doing stuff for money and having people, hey, who can leave their hand the longest on this car wins this car. If you can stay in this house for 30 days, you get to have this house, stuff like that. But one of the original cast members, Chris Tyson, I don't know if we have anything on Chris Tyson, but real quick, Chris Tyson was a straight man with a wife and kid. I think his son's Tucker. Has recently started transgendering and left his wife.
Wait, Chris Tyson's transgendering?
Yes, Chris Tyson is transgendering to a female, and he left his wife, and kind of like hurts the demographic of what Mr. Beast's empire is, right? The Mr. Beast show. So rumors are, and these are all speculations, that he's out. He's done. What I'm hearing is he got a nice little walk away bonus of like $15 million, plus still has shares or revenue of the company, so he'll be getting paid afterwards. But that's what's going on right now, because he doesn't, Mr. Beast, it's his kid-friendly show. He has a kid-friendly show that he has that like my kids watch, and he doesn't believe that for his show of what Mr. Beast is, adding this demographic is appropriate. And good for Mr. Beast for doing that. I think, why do we have to indoctrinate 10-year-old, 8-year-old kids to what Chris Tyson is going? And this is Chris's own decision. If he wanted to do this, good for you, but there's ramifications for this. You're just not on the show anymore. You're getting paid. You have a nice life.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I don't know much about it, honestly. I just know of Mr. Beast. I just heard about Chris Tyson today, and sounds like an adult making their own decisions, moving on.
Nothing wrong with that. It's just you can't think that you can't be mad at your friend getting rid of you because you're going against what the brand is.
Mm-hmm.
Kid-friendly show. This is what we sought off to do. It's a group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
So now you want to be a girl and you're going to ruin the demographic? All guys, one girl? Like, that's not what the demographic is for that show. It's the group of guys. So I'm sure someone told him, hey, we can't have you on the show. Here's your payday. You're going to get X amount because you're part of the original group. He's probably fine with it. He's probably just saving face and saying that he's still part of the team or whatever, but he's not.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I have on that.
I mean, there's a Chris Tyson response to rumors being kicked off the Mr. Beast team. We can play this 18-second video.
Yeah,
real quick.
18 seconds. Go ahead.
Nope, I pretty much told Jimmy, just because I want to spend time with Tucker and he's traveling a lot, I'm just going to come and go as I please. I came to Japan and I left when I pleased. And I went to, I don't know if I can say I went to Mexico. I went to Mexico. And then I came back.
Okay, so
he just started his transition, so he's taking testosterone or whatever, blockers right now, and
yeah, I don't know anything about the story. It's just whatever.
It's just another story that's out there that's relative to what's going on this week. And I just wanted to bring it up because there's a lot of Mr. Beast fans out there, right?
I mean,
I know my kids are.
Well, yeah, like I said, it's a kids show. They do a lot of fun stuff, really creative, interesting stuff. I've seen some of his stuff. It's pretty cool. But it's just weird. Like when you have like original, fun, entertaining content, it's just like these weird outside influences come in and they get into it. Like, oh, transphobia, politics.
Yeah.
It's just things that cause drama in our everyday lives. It's just like, why is it necessary to just bring it in?
It's not necessary. So, all right.
Yeah.
What's next on a? Oh, this is big. Steven Crowder responds to a video of him berating his pregnant wife, claims it was misleading and edited. No, it wasn't. I saw the whole clip. I'm not the biggest fan of Steven Crowder. I thought he was entertaining. He's the guy that did the Change My Mind stuff, which I think is entertaining. He's pretty well spoken. His content's pretty good. I've watched it. Not a fan, but I did not like him. After watching how he talked to his 8-month pregnant wife, you're a POS. I don't know if we have any type of clip that we can play. Arrogant SOB. Wow. This is just a clip of it. It's not the whole thing. I urge people to watch the whole clip to get a good idea of what this maniac, and I say maniac nicely, you don't treat your pregnant wife like this. And there's more content to this that we're going to go back and talk about. But right now, let's play a little clip so you can see what this guy is about, because this is his true self. He's on video. He doesn't know that anyone's watching. So this is the real deal of who he is. So go ahead and play it real quick.
Okay, I love you. I love you very much. I don't love you. That's the big problem. I've never received love from you, and the fact is, when I go, look, I need an A, B, C, and D, which is put out a video. Now, what I love you more than life itself. Okay. Put on some love. Now, what I love you more than life itself.
He's smoking a cigar in front of her.
I hit pause, but it's not letting me read what's on there. Dang it.
It's not fair. It's not fair. It's discipline.
So hit pause real quick. I know why he's talking about the gloves. His wife's 8 months pregnant. He wants her to give the dog medicine. Why? I don't know. Why can't you do it? Which is the crazy part. So he wants his wife to do it, and his wife's like,
It might be dangerous for a pregnant woman.
For a pregnant woman is what she's saying. Like, she doesn't want to take. She's a woman that has an 8-month-old baby, and she doesn't want to harm it in any way. And his response: put on some gloves. Are you crazy? Like, do it yourself. What is wrong with people? Like,
your wife needs you right now.
no, not just that. Your wife is like worried about this child. She's not worried about your dog.
So let's see. Are there more?
This was not my choice.
Lies.
My then wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore.
Lies.
And in the state of Texas, that is completely permitted. That's not my choice. She simply wanted out. And the law says that that's how it works. Now, of course, look, I get it. There are multiple sides to every story. But one thing that is undeniable, in this case, that's no one's fault but my own, in that I picked wrong.
All right, hit pause on that real quick. I actually went down a little rabbit hole and studied this and watched some videos and facts of what happened. So, June 2021, he left. This is Steve. Left his house for what he said it was elective surgery. He said something was wrong with his chest or whatever. Truth was, he had a sunken chest and he had cosmetic surgery to puff it out so he would look normal, right? His wife was hoping that he would go get help, to, so he wouldn't be mad all the time, because he would just blow up on her all the time. This guy wasn't even at the birth of his twin children. He decided not to go to the hospital. All right, that is insane to me. Plus, after the children were born, he decided to get a townhouse and move out. He had his assistant cut her off financially so she couldn't get into any of their shared accounts. Those are facts. Those are out there. So that's a POS in my book. So not a fan now. Again, watch the whole video. Get a good idea of who this guy is. What do
That's
you
really disturbing. I mean, different relationships, different marriages. Who knows what else is going on there? But I mean, I don't have much of an opinion. But if all that's true about how he treated his pregnant wife like that, that's pretty rough.
Oh, it's worse. I'm telling you, you got to watch it too. The arrogance of this guy, that he thinks he's so popular. And another thing that's going on with this guy, he hasn't signed with anyone right now because he's still going through the divorce. Now, the law states any contracts that he makes from now until he gets divorced, she gets half. Big bingo. So he doesn't want her to get any of that money. So he's waiting for this divorce, and he's trying to speed it up as fast as possible so he can go sign somewhere. He's estimated to make anywhere from 50 to 80 million somewhere. After that video comes out, I don't think anyone should sign him. He's a POS. There's multiple people that say the same thing. He had a fallout with Dave Shapiro and his group of people.
The Daily Wire, yeah.
The Daily Wire. So that video, I saw that just today, and I'm just like, wow, that just again, wasn't the biggest fan in the first place, but now I am not a fan at all. You don't treat women like that. You don't treat your wife like that. You don't, and the fact that you didn't show up to your children's birth, your kids are gonna remember that, man. And you cut her off, get out of here.
Cut her off financially.
Financially, she couldn't get into any of her accounts.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
That's
He's
a lot of control.
He's a very controlling dude. You can see in the video, that little clip you saw is nothing compared to the whole clip. Watch the whole clip and you can see what a jerk, how controlling one guy is. And that's a lot of, I mean, I guess there's a lot of relationships like that. The fact that women have to deal with that is crazy.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because, I mean, for the guy who provides, how you treat your wife or your significant other is a reflection on you and who you are as a man. So if you treat your significant other poorly, you're a poor person.
Correct. So that's all I have on Steve Crowder, which, you know, RIP or whatever you want to say. I don't know if who he's gonna sign with now, because all that information's out there now.
Mm-hmm. So, next thing, I got something here. Want to read this?
Oh, I just saw this too. So, Danny, go ahead and segue into this and tell us what we're watching.
From the New York Post, someone filmed at a Red Sox game about the whole fiasco with Dylan Mulvaney and Bud Light. People are just refusing to purchase Bud Light. So here's a snippet about it.
Let's watch.
So for people listening, basically the counters where they sell Bud Light beers, no one's there. People are in other lines to purchase different products, but no one is purchasing Bud Light.
Wow.
So that is Red Sox fans for you.
Wow. They're taking it to Bud Light.
So, I mean,
How do you recover if you're Bud Light?
I don't know. Like, how do you recover?
I mean, do you go back and do you apologize? Because then it looks bad if you apologize.
Well, they fired the VP of marketing who put the green light on it, and the CEOs are claiming that they didn't know anything about it, which I'm sure they did, but that's
yeah,
that's their
exactly.
scapegoat,
Come on.
right?
Yeah.
To try to recover. Like, if you're the CEO, you know about a lot of things.
Well, the fact that they didn't fire her right away. If you're the CEO and that came out, I'm sure you're sitting at home watching something and that commercial comes up or something
Okay.
comes up.
I'll play devil's advocate. Maybe
Okay.
they didn't know, and they put the VP of marketing on suspension to figure out what the hell happened. And then once they get enough information, like, how did we slip up? Why is this a person in the VP chair of marketing? It's like, this is a bad move, and we trusted you to do that. So now you made me look bad as a CEO. You're out. So I can see that.
Well, not just CEO. You just made the whole company that was Anheuser-Busch, which was American flag, Clydesdale, whatever those horses are. That was America. That was America's beer. And now you do this and you, like, I don't want to say slap half or the majority of your beer drinkers, because they're dudes, right? They're beer drinking frat dudes that go to NFL games or football games and bruisers and, you know, all that stuff. But
I mean, I've heard Joe Rogan say this. It's like, if this was cheesecake, would people react the same way to that cheesecake brand? Like, ultimately, for me, it's like, I don't care. Okay, they made a bad move.
we don't eat cheesecake.
So it's like Bud Light. Yes, it's a well-known brand. Maybe it's because it's a well-known brand.
Yeah, well, I think it's because of demographic. Come
Yeah.
on, does Dylan Mulvaney really drink beer?
Maybe, maybe not.
Do like probably like a red rose wine or something, like, or a seltzer. You know, like I go to a bar, see how many women drink beer. They're drinking like last night. We were at BLD for Turning Soldiers concert. My buddy Ryan's band. You know, there was no women drinking beer. They were drinking either seltzer or a mixed drink. No beer. No girls were drinking beer.
Well, it's
Just dudes.
Oh, Bud Light had Dylan Mulvaney, advertise for him. So the Bud Light drinkers don't want to associate with Bud Light anymore because of Dylan Mulvaney. And why? Because Dylan Mulvaney is a transgender person,
We think. What
right?
if it's just a facade?
Sure. I mean, either
It could
or.
be a facade.
I mean, this.
Could be Hollywood.
I mean, the whole transgender thing. This is like the third time we're talking about it on this podcast.
I know, because we're not gonna get around it. It's gonna happen.
Is it because it's like getting in your face and you're like, dude, why
Yeah.
does this topic have to be in everything? It's getting
It's
in my
in our
schools.
face
It's
every
in
day.
it's in my freaking beer I drink. It's in like the news. It's everywhere. It's like, just leave me alone. That community, go out and be happy. Just don't be harming others. And I'm totally cool and respectful with it.
Correct.
Just leave kids alone. Let them make their own decisions when they're old enough to make the decision. If they're all happy about the decision, have at it as adults.
Absolutely. Amen. Mm-hmm. But that's kind of funny that in Boston, no one drank Bud Light.
Other than that, I mean, what else do we got going on other than?
Besides that, let's talk a little bit of what's going on with us. Let's talk about some movie reviews, some food reviews. Let's start with we're already talking about BLD, breakfast, lunch, drinks. It used to be called breakfast, lunch, dinner, and because of COVID, they changed it because people weren't going out as much for dinner, and so now it's BLD, breakfast, lunch, drinks.
Okay.
Food was phenomenal. Like, I haven't ate there since it first opened. Their food's delicious. I was drinking 805s. Those, like I said, it's either that or Scottsdale Blondes for me. I had the wings. I think barbecue wings, some type of barbecue wing, but their wings were delicious. Like, they were good wings. They weren't like too, like not thick, but burnt, too dried out. They were juicy.
Last time I was there, I ordered this and it freaked out my girlfriend. It was the fried chicken and waffles. Do you like that?
Why was she freaked out?
She thought it was weird.
She's white.
I thought that was a white dish.
No, it's a South dish. It only depends.
Okay, when you're saying South, who do you mean exactly?
Like, it's in the South, but it can be a white dish. You're right.
Right.
You know,
Okay. I
that's
mean,
what
white and black type dish, right?
Yeah, chicken and waffles. So go on. Which I like chicken and waffles. Like, my son
Not just
loves
chicken,
chicken
waffles,
waffles.
fried chicken and waffles.
I've never had regular chicken.
I don't think I have either. I'm
No,
sure
it's
you
always
can,
been
right?
it's always been fried.
But I like it. I find it delicious.
Okay, so tell me about their chicken and waffles.
Really good. I recommend
Really?
it. If you're in the mood for fried chicken and waffles, Belgian waffles to be exact, BLD is a good spot in Chandler, Arizona.
I don't see it on the menu.
Top right. Fried
Oh, I see it.
chicken and
And
Belgian
there it is.
waffle
I am blind.
right in front of your face.
Yep, right in front of my face. I was like,
Wait, what did you have last time?
I just had wings.
Just wings.
I love wings.
I know you love wings, but I
Oh,
didn't know BLD was like a spot for wings.
There's they have an appetizer somewhere on there. Their tacos are really good there.
Oh, that's a big deal for a Mexican saying that.
No, they're I think it's, fish tacos or go up and go to the wait, go down. Did it say ice cream? Is there ice cream? Go down more. Little grill. One scoop of ice cream. Okay. They lied to me.
What are you talking about?
I asked them last night after we were eating. It was closing time, and I asked the lady at the bartender, I'm really mad because I asked you, do you have ice cream? Do you have dessert? And she said no. You have a dessert tower, a donut tower. That's dessert. Damn. Oh, well, it does say quick bread breakfast. Maybe that's why. Yeah,
So you're trying to order at 9, they didn't have it?
I asked her
maybe
for
it's
ice cream, dessert. I asked, hey, do you have ice cream?
Maybe for breakfast.
So I had to walk in the same parking lot, which wasn't far, to Yola, which is our family mainstay. But they lied to me, though. I asked them what they had for dessert. Oh, I don't have any. Okay, well, because they close at 8 p.m. And it was already 8 like 30 almost. They just wanted us out.
Let's see. So, should we do a trailer review?
Yeah, let's do Dune. Right now, Dune 2 trailer just came out. Do you want to watch it real quick?
Oh, yeah, let me pull it up.
For those that can watch it, we're going to watch it. For those that are watching or listening, pull the trailer out.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
Pause it right now, and then in what? How long is this trailer? In like 2 minutes.
Come back in 2.5 minutes, and we'll be talking.
I want to play right now.
When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't reach the bottom.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you. In the shadows of Arrakis lie many secrets. But the darkest of them all may remain. The end of House Atreides.
Your father didn't believe in revenge.
What if Paul Atreides was still alive? Have you ever had a dream about your first ride?
This looks good.
Be simple. Be direct. Nothing fancy.
I understand.
And he gets on the first try.
He never gives me Paul Atreides. We gave them something to hope for.
That knife chip and shatter.
So much to unpack on that. There's just so much.
I mean, where do we begin? I mean, should we talk about Dune 1? How you like that?
The first part of Dune, because this is, Dune's a series of 6 books. The Dune movie that we are accustomed to from the 80s or whatever. And this looks like it's a 2-part of that, which is the first book. The first Dune was good. I really liked it. I liked all the characters. Momoa was awesome. Brolin was awesome. I think the father and, Paul Atreides the casting was great. I think I have no doubt that they did really well in the casting. But Dune 2 looks like it's going to answer everything. But will it be enough? Like, are they going to stop at the first book and call it a day? Or do you go and do the other books?
I mean, what did the first movie cover? Did the first movie cover the first book?
Just the first book.
All of it? Okay, so we can anticipate this to be the second book?
No, this is the second part of the first book.
Oh.
I was thinking the 1980s movie was the first book.
Okay.
And this was half of the first book. And part 2, they should be able to finish it. But I'm good with that. If they go into the other books, it gets too weird. Like, the books are weird. The characters are weird. Like, Paul Atreides' kids, like, it's. I don't want to spoil it for people, but it's just too weird.
It just gets. What, does it just fall off the tracks? Like,
Yeah,
it starts out strong and then just.
Like, this is normal. Like, what's going on is normal. Like, Star Wars kind of whatever. It's, I don't want to say realistic, but it's plausible. Paul Atreides' son becomes like this 1,000-year-old living worm man. Like, it's weird. Like, you got to read the books, or at least go on YouTube and see what the rest of the books are about. But going back to the Dune, the what we just saw, he got on the worm on the first try. I don't know how big or significant that's going to be in this movie, but in the first one that we saw in the 80s, he controls them and they're able to destroy all those armies and this and that. Austin Butler, that played Elvis, is in this one. He's playing the character that Sting played in the 80s, which is like the Baron's son, I think. And he ultimately fights Paul Atreides, and obviously, spoiler alerts. I mean, if you read the books, saw the movies, the good guy wins, right? So it's going to be interesting. Butler looks different, shaved head, ghostly looking white, just like his cousin. That's Batista in this movie. So it looks good. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to go see it in the theater. It's definitely a movie that's worth going and checking out. What do you think?
High expectations for this.
I had high expectations for the first one, and it was like Not.
It didn't meet your expectations.
I think it's because it cut off.
Mm.
I was going in there gonna watch it and it was gonna end, but I didn't expect it to end halfway through the book. And I was like, oh crap!
Well, books are long, so did it cover some good ground for sci-fi
It
book?
did. I just was not expecting it to be 2 parts.
Okay, so do you think this is just covering the first book and that's it? They're gonna call it done? I haven't heard anything if they're gonna do a 3 or 4 or anything like that.
Well, I think they want to see the success on this one. If this is successful, why wouldn't you do it?
That's right, because the first one only came out on streaming because it was during the pandemic lockdowns.
Yeah, it's during lockdown. So this is going to be a good gauge of what it's going to do in the box office.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. I think this was the first movie straight to HBO.
If not one of them, really.
Yes.
Which is a good move for HBO during the lockdown. Just like, dude, no one's going to theaters, just put it on a streaming platform, let people bring in that revenue.
Yeah, of course. But I like sci-fi. I'm a dork when it comes to stuff
sure.
like that. So,
Sure. But I hate critics who are not into sci-fi. And they
say
criticize
it
the movie.
sucks
It's like,
just watch it for what it is. Entertaining. Does it entertain you? Yeah, the first one entertained me.
mm-hmm.
I was all into it. I actually liked it better than the first one and the book. Right?
Sure.
The actors were, like I said, they did really well with the actors. The actors are great. I didn't, the Spider-Man's girlfriend, what's her name? Zendaya.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
She was like in 2 minutes of the movie. That was it. Just at the end and some dream sequences. So hopefully we see more of her. I think she's a tremendous actress. She's awesome. Let's see more of her. The guy that they got, that Timothy kid that plays Paul Atreides, great actor. He's great for this character. Brolin, great. Momoa was great. Even Paul Atreides' dad. That if you haven't seen it, pause 10 seconds, go forward. But he dies. The dad dies, and it's really good how that happens. The Baron's good, so that's a great movie. I'm excited for the second one a lot, and there's not a lot of movies I go to the theater for. That will be one of them.
I feel like there's a change in theaters because it's really hard to get people motivated now to go to the movies. Not like what it was before when we have so many choices on streaming platforms. Movies have to count now.
They got to knock it out of the park or be like Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm going to go see it in the theater. It's the last one.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of hype. A lot of people saw it already, and they're telling me it is good.
Sure. Yeah.
It is good. And I feel like Marvel, you have to see them in the theater to get that effect. So the next movie I'm seeing is Guardians of the Galaxy as soon as maybe even tonight. But Dune, I'm going to see The Flash in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good. I mean, you bring back Michael Keaton as Batman. That movie has to make a lot of money.
Oh, I think that should be for another episode. Just go over The Flash.
Oh, we'll talk about that next week.
Because I can go on about that.
No,
one
let's
too.
talk about that next week. We don't have.
So
wanted to go
stay
go
tuned
over.
for next week's episode. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about The Flash.
What's next on here? We're doing a review on a TV show.
It's out now, right?
It's out now. I'll do the review.
I'll just pull.
It's on Paramount streaming service.
Are all the episodes up?
Yep. Not all the episodes. See, some services like Netflix, when they put a show out, all their episodes are out there. Paramount's different. You have to watch it week by week. That's how they get you coming back.
HBO does that too, which is going to be Max now. I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about that with the whole DC. Let's do a whole thing about DC next week, and we'll talk about HBO Max switching again. But this show is called Rabbit Hole. So if you're a fan of the old 24 series show that Kiefer Sutherland did, this is a show for you. I'm going to have Danny go ahead and play it.
Well, I'm just going to play it without sound.
Okay, without
So
sound.
just go ahead and talk about
So
it.
if you're listening to it on iTunes, you're not going to see what we're seeing, but it's just quickly showing Kiefer Sutherland couple things he does. It's going to remind you of the character of Jack Bauer. It's really well done. It's kind of takes you down, the show is called Rabbit Hole, because what you think's happening is not happening. Almost like it's a Matrix type of thing going on. So definitely take a look at it, watch the preview, see if you'd be into it. I say just watch the first episode because it's one of those shows that catches your attention And every episode, it's like that, where like, oh, damn, I got to see the next show. Because it leaves you with a little breadcrumb, a little clue of what's going to happen. You think you know what's happening, but then at the end of the episode, your mind's blown. So this is a very good show. I think Kiefer Sutherland's fantastic in this show. Watch it. Write a comment on there. Tell me what you think, if you like it or not. Also, tell me what shows you like, so I can watch it and do a preview. And there's always shows I want to see, but this is, to me right now, it's a good show and highly recommend watching. You got any shows you're watching right now?
No, but let me talk more about this one right now. How many episodes are out right now?
I think there's like 6 episodes out.
So the season's not done yet.
Oh no.
It looks good. Hopefully I get around to it because there's still a lot I have to finish watching. It's on Paramount Plus. I mean, out of all the streaming services, do you think Paramount Plus is worth the subscription? I think their content is coming up. That's my opinion.
Well, there's a lot of Star Trek on there. There's some Yellowstone. There's a lot of
No, not the Yellowstone right now. For some reason, it's on the Paramount Network TV show that you have to watch on like cable, but it's not on Paramount Plus.
No, it is. They have 18.
The 1882,
1883
and
and
1923. The spin-offs of it, but not the original show.
Oh yeah, the original is on. You have to watch it on YouTube TV.
You have to watch, like DVR, which is annoying. Like,
It's
what the
super
hell?
annoying. We're going back to the streaming wars and how all these people are taking your money. I get it. It sucks, but
I mean,
Paramount's worth it. It's not that much.
No, I think it's one of the cheaper ends. I think it's just enough to get you on, because a lot of subscriptions now cost more. Like HBO, Netflix are like what, $15-$18 a month now.
Yeah, and Disney and all that. They're like closer to $15.
Well, for the ad-free service, right? I think Paramount is. I think they have an ad service, but it's cheaper, maybe like $5 a month, and then you get the ones without ads. But Paramount, I think it's worth it in some ways.
There's so many ads. Yeah, you watch YouTube TV recently?
YouTube TV? No, not me. Sometimes like there's a TV show that everyone's talking about and I can't get it through a streaming service, then I'll look through the YouTube TV to find the show and watch all the seasons. The only downfall is you have to deal with the commercials. Okay, but at least I have access to these shows.
It's
instantly.
worse on YouTube TV when you record it. But if you record a show and they have commercials, you can forward through it. If you didn't know that, they had a bunch of other commercials on there. But there's other shows that are on there because it has like the library, like, oh, this show's out. Do you want to watch it? It already played. It's not live. So you watch it. Like my wife watches those NYPD shows, so CSIs and all that. So she's like, oh, I'm going to watch this episode. So she'll hit the episode. And if it's not recorded on our DVR, she's watching it. And I kid you not, it's like 7 things of commercials. And it's like 3 minutes long. And then you watch the show for 5 minutes and then another set of commercials. I'm like, what the hell is going on? They're just nailing you with these advertisements over and over. And if you don't have it recorded, you can't fast forward it.
Oh, so like if you're using like their pre-recorded.
Yes, if you watch
library?
it, yes, because YouTube TV has their pre-recorded. Like, hey, this is something you missed, you might like. You're like, oh yeah, let me see what this episode is. Oh, cool, this whole series. Let me go back and watch this episode, and they nail you with commercial after commercial.
Yeah, I noticed that. I mean, it's like a pro and con. Like, there's talk in like an office about a TV show. You want to catch up and like, oh, cool, I could just like watch it from season 1 all the way through because I can't find my streaming services. And you have to deal with a lot of those commercials that you cannot fast forward through. But that service is available. But at the same time, you're paying for this service too. Like, why do I have to be eating all these commercials? This is what I've always hated about cable. You pay for cable service, I have to eat all these commercials too.
Yeah.
That's why we all went to streaming services and started cutting cable, because we wanted to get away from commercials. And then now they're back.
They're back, and Disney just added them too. So you have to pay the premium to not watch the commercials. So that's how they get you. Is that, and pretty soon all of them they're trying to do that. You can't share passwords.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck, dude.
Good luck, man, because now less people are going to subscribe.
Yeah, 'cause it's not worth it. It's like you're charging me $20 a month, and my brother can't watch it. That we're going halves on this, $10 each, and that's, you do that for Disney, and then you do it for like, Paramount, you do it for Max, you do it for Showtime. It adds up. And now there's a new one, MGM Plus. I'm like, please don't have any good shows on there. Apple has, Ted Lasso, which I like. Peacock now is another one. It's like, dude, what? I get it. Peacock's only like $6, but do I really want to pay for something that I should be getting from all these other services? Like, what good is YouTube TV if I'm paying almost $100 a month if you're not going to have everything on there?
Now, like all these competing television networks or services, I should say, like a YouTube TV and a DirecTV streaming, you have to compete for their services to get sports. Like all sports should just be free because you're adding the commercials anyway. And you want me to pay more for our sports I really want to watch? You have the technology to have all the games broadcasted everywhere in the United States. But yeah, you're saying to unlock this, you have to pay more. It's like, how about F you? I'm just not paying for it. I'm going back to pirating. Forget it.
Exactly.
Like, it's just not worth it for me anymore.
No, it's not. And cable's like super expensive now. Like, have you seen I was like, hey, what would DirecTV and what's the Cox and the Bunny one, the Hopper guy, Dish Network? What do those prices look like? The cheapest one's like $100.
Like, it's stupid because I remember Netflix came up. Everyone agreed to that price for streaming, and the amount of pirating went down. And now with all these streaming services asking more money, they're trying to put in commercials. I know so many more people who just gave up on streaming services and just like, I'd rather just pirate this and not deal with any of it because it's getting way too expensive. It's getting way too ridiculous. I don't agree with this anymore.
Do you remember when Netflix was like a CD or a DVD company?
Yeah, of course.
And they had a really cool thing. Like, here you go. I can't remember if it was up to 3 discs that you can have at a time. And then every time you sent one back, they would send you another one.
Right.
And you got to do your catalog. Like, once this disc comes back, I want this disc and this. That was pretty cool. And then they did the streaming service. I remember when that first started, I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. And then it just took off.
Yeah.
I mean, Amazon has one now, Amazon's another one.
But that's the point where they're getting too greedy and it's too frustrating.
It's too many.
Well, I mean, if they had them at better prices, if some of these competing companies would just like work with each other and be like, let's do combo deals. Like, it's just frustrating because there's a lot of content I would like to watch. I'm not saying I'm obsessed over on them, any of them, but now I have to deal with commercials.
Yeah.
They're trying to lock the password. If I try to share it, they try to punish me as the customer.
Correct.
I'm like, oh, it's so frustrating.
Why can't it be like pizza? Like when you order pizza online, you can pick your toppings. Why can't you pick your channels? Like, hey, I want TBS, TNT, USA, ESPN. I want Bally Network and local channels. How much are you going to charge me?
No, because they're trying to slip in those.
They slip in all the nonchalant crap channels we don't want to see. Here's 16 Hallmark channels. You can watch Christmas all year long. Like, no, I don't need to watch this.
I don't care for it.
No. TLC? No.
No, I really hope there's a competing company that says we are listening to the customer.
No one's listening. What's another one? Fubo. I think it's Fubo TV, which they have a pretty decent price. Oh, it's only $40. Cool. So I went on there. Half of the channels are on are on A. The other half are on B. So which one do you want, or do you want a combo of both? Either you pay $45 for A, $45 for B, or $65 for both. And $65 for both is what I have right now with YouTube TV. It's like, what do you like? You're not really saving money. It's false advertising. So I think they're all full of crap.
I mean, the streaming services, like, come on now. We wanted to stream because it was an escape from commercials. Now you're adding them. And now you're making it difficult for me to watch certain content, especially sports. Like, I want to be able to watch sports streaming.
Local sports, too.
I mean, at least the local sports need to be available for a local audience.
Yeah, Bally sucks.
They're going under.
Can't watch any Diamondbacks Suns games right now. Suns are going on TV, though, thank God, next season. But Diamondback games, can't watch any of those. ASU, you had the problem with ASU football. Unless it's an away game, you're not watching it.
Yeah, just like last week, I said, you know what? I just stopped following the team. And since I've been stopped following the team, I haven't put any money in merchandise lately. I haven't bought anything ASU related lately. I haven't gone to any games lately. I just lost track and I lost interest because the difficulties they put me through to watch the games. And it's like, you know what? I'm sick of your hand in my pocket.
Real quick, Boston and Philly are in overtime. 26 seconds left. Boston's up 115-113.
Oh yeah.
So
And-
real quick, I know by the time this video gets out, it's over. Whatever.
Right.
I'm going to tell you who won too. Don't worry. A couple of things came up while we were doing our show this week. Vidal Blue, A's pitcher. I don't know if you can pull him up. He died today. I think he won the Cy Young 3 years in a row back in the 70s. He was the Oakland A's pitcher.
Let me pull him up.
I just put Vidal Blue. There you go, Vida. There you go, Vida Blue. Pull up a picture of him real quick. Any picture, right there. That one's good. Just so people can see. Stud. We had 3 consecutive World Series titles. What? 1971 American League MVP, 3-time World Series champion. He died. He was 73. Any Oakland A's fans or baseball fans, period, in that time frame? I didn't watch or follow baseball. I wasn't even born, but I do know a lot about Vida Blue. I grew up an A's fan back in the day, so it's kind of sad to see. He was just a stud pitcher back in the 70s, and 3 consecutive World Series. That's pretty big.
That is big. Really big.
So I want to just quick shout out to Vida Blue and any A's fans and baseball fans mourning that. That it's a tough loss. Another one I want to go over is yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Type up A's announcer N-word. So and I'm going to tell you my viewpoints on this. Glenn Kuiper. Was this yesterday? I think he got fired. I don't know if he got fired. He's suspended indefinitely for using the N-word during a broadcast. I saw that broadcast.
Really?
And it was, to me, I think he just screwed up. Or did he screw up? There's 2 sides of the story, right? I get it. He was talking about the Negro Leagues. They got to go to the Negro Hall of Fame. And the other N-word popped out. Instead of Negro League, he said the other N-word.
Oh, no.
Nonchalantly, too. Almost like it was in his head, he probably thought he was saying the right word, but he said the wrong word. And this is a guy that comes here for spring training. I know who he is. You know, like I said, I was an A's fan. I still follow the A's, even though they're the worst ran team in all of sports and going to Vegas soon in 2025. He would be at the Mesa Ballpark calling games for the A's. That broadcast, when he said it, I was like, he's done. He's done.
Yeah, they're totally done.
You're done.
How do you come back from that, especially if you're a white male?
You don't. You don't.
Right? Like, because it makes me wonder if it slipped, how comfortable has he been with that word?
That was the argument I had with a buddy of mine. He said, did you see how nonchalant it came out of his mouth? That word was in his vocabulary. Well, it's in everyone's vocabulary. We've all heard rap music. We grew up on NWA.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't say it. I hate that word. No, I think I hate that word because I was in infantry, and a lot of us in infantry were minorities.
Mm-hmm.
Black Hispanics, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you, I dare say, I don't want to say white trash, but like lower end white guys that, come from poor families, this was their out. The smart people tested into other jobs, 10% of the military is infantry and, guys that just wanted to get out. But beyond that story, I had plenty of stories where, I had a lot of close friends. And if you were in the military, your attachment, these guys are like your brothers that were black, that had been thrown the N-word before, not in the service, but like when we go on leave, went to 98. Yeah, 98, went to the A's or the Braves Yankee series in Atlanta, I believe. And the N-word was thrown around a couple times. I hate hearing that because these are my boys, And when I hear that, in Glenn Kuiper's instincts, I think it might have been a mistake. I think it was a mistake. I think he's older. He slipped up. The word's in his vocabulary. But does he say it all the time?
Did he try to correct himself, or is just
He
like
apologized because he probably was told, "Hey, dude, you said the N word."
you didn't say Negro?
He thought he did, which is crazy because the guy next to him, the other announcer, didn't like make a face or anything, just went along with it. So maybe his headphones blocked out that word or whatever. Someone must have told him, "Dude, you said you committed a cardinal sin
bad
on
N-word."
TV." He's gonna get fired.
You didn't say the Spanish word for black,
Yeah,
which is what
It's-
Negro came from.
yeah, but even the Spanish word for black, which
Negro. Yeah.
it's just black, in Spanish. And in this case, there's other announcers that have gotten fired for that. So if he doesn't get fired, all these other announcers that got fired for that, or other people in that capacity, will come back and say, "Well, why didn't he get fired?" And easy answer is because they're not you,
Well,
or you're not him. But Kuiper's gone. He's gone.
it's unfortunate. I mean,
It sucks. He'll get a job somewhere else, and he's probably super apologetic. But you gotta.
yeah, he lost his job. I would be
I
too.
mean, think about it. His livelihood. Guy loves baseball. And he's really like apologetic, and people know he's not racist. He's not racist. He has nothing in his background that shows he's racist. I know this guy.
He would not be interested in baseball if he was a racist, unless he's seeing black players every day and he's pissed off
Yeah.
about it. And
Yeah.
why? How can you even be an announcer?
Everyone's coming out of the woodwork saying that he's racist, this and that. He slipped up. He made a mistake. He really did. Even the CEO of the Negro Leagues that met with him, because he went to a celebration over there and they toured it. The guy said, "I could forgive him." It's sad that he said that, but I could forgive him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I hope others can as well."
I hope he can do better.
And, have him be.
Like, how sincere is he with his apology?
He was really sincere. He's probably like, "Oh my God, did I really say that?" And it's something, it truly probably did slip up.
Yeah, even on this podcast, when I go back to the video, I'm like, I said that word. I meant something else.
I know, I did that too. Remember, I said Five Guys instead of In and Out?
In and out, right? It
Like,
happens.
why did I say Five Guys? I would never say Five Guys.
So that's true. So it's like, that wasn't even in your head. Really
Yeah.
in your vocabulary, in like coming out of your mouth. It just
Yeah.
slipped out. So, yeah, and the worst word he said.
The worst word you can say, he slipped up and said. So are you in agreement? Like, yeah, you're going to have to find something else.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean,
His family's probably like, devastated. He's devastated. Big A's fan.
maybe he got a lot of good black friends who can stick out. Hey, it's unfortunate you said that, but I forgive him. I know he's not like that.
That has to come out and say, "Hey, we know him. He's not this." It's. I don't think the A's want to deal with that. They don't. It's going to be a fight.
I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, yeah, it's just
Easy
why
answer.
deal with it? The easy answer is get rid of him.
Get rid of him. Get someone else. My phone number is 480-221-3876. I will do it for you because I love baseball.
The announcer for baseball for the A's, yeah.
Yeah. No, it just sucks that happened. I get it. I think he slipped. Like I said, I know who he is. He's been around baseball. He's a great person, and for this to happen, like, he has nothing in his background that would say that he is. He's plenty of players that would vouch for him, but it's unfortunate. And I think PC world that we're in right now, they're not gonna it's not gonna slide.
No.
It's not gonna slide. So he's gone. Sucks to see that. There's nothing he's gonna be able to do. But that wraps up the show, unless you got something you want to pop out.
I don't got anything else. I did see a comedian.
Oh wait, before you talk about your comedian and then the comedian we're gonna see, it's a final. 76ers 116, Celtics 115. Final in overtime. Is that series 2-2 now?
Let me see here.
I think so.
So Celtics won, right?
Yep.
So yeah, the series is 2-2.
I think all these series are gonna go 6 or 7 games. Pretty exciting. Yeah, they even the series. James Harden, last second 3. The beard came through.
The beard came through. That's hilarious. I saw Craig Robinson, comedian Craig Robinson.
yeah, I saw him once.
From the Office, and Hot Tub Time Machine. That's where I really liked him.
Oh, it's a great movie. I got a story about him, but I want you to talk to you about what your experience is.
He's a
with him.
performer, man. He goes up there with the what is it called, the electric piano, electric keyboard, whatever.
Yep.
And he just plays a lot of well-known music, and he sings about it. But has a good time with the audience, makes the audience interact and sing with it too. And then it was a blast.
So
He's so funny.
he hosted a comedy special that my friend Tom was in. You remember Tom? Vegas Tom?
Yeah.
We went to Vegas for your 21st birthday. Tom Campobello, good friend of mine. I haven't talked to him in a while. I think he still hates me for I don't know what reason. But Craig Robinson was the host of this special, and he had a couple Valley comedians perform at the Tempe Improv. Tom was up there. He did his joke, said, "Oh, my friends are here, this and that." And then Craig came out, put a chair on stage, looked dead at us, right? Dead at our group of friends, and said, "You're friends with this guy?" All of us all looked at each other at the same time, said, "No."
Oh,
But just jokingly, he knew we were friends.
Yeah,
And-
sure.
And Craig had some fun with it. He was busting Tom's balls, which is hilarious. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was a great experience. You know, he was a host. It was a local show. It was sold out, but it's cool to see local talent and seeing our friend Tom on that stage, sharing the stage with Craig Robinson. And of course, he did his routine at the beginning real quick, nothing too big.
Speaking of stand-up comedy, I want to go to Joe Rogan's stand-up comedy place, his comedy club called The Mothership. It just opened up recently
In Austin.
in Austin, Texas.
Tell me a little bit more about this.
I mean, that's about it, because I listen to Joe Rogan a lot. Big fan of him.
We're both big fans of Mr. Rogan.
Comedy Mothership.
Did you know my wife? He's one of the, like, you know how you have, hey, these are the 3 or 5 famous people you can't get mad at if they hook up. Joe Rogan's on our list.
Why? Is it because he looks like a gorilla or something?
She loved him in the Survivor show that he did.
Yeah. No, it's not Survivor.
Fear
it's,
Factor.
Fear Factor.
Yeah, the Fear Factor show. And this is a long time ago, right? So I was like, really? You like this guy? And then I started getting into Joe Rogan. He was on a sitcom for a while, and I thought he was funny. And then he did his comedy, and I was like, this guy's actually pretty good at comedy, right? His I liked his style. But he went after Carlos Mencia. Remember that?
Yes, I remember that.
Wow. He went at him hard with a ton of evidence. And I was like, this dude, and he went on stage and just told Carlos Mencia, what's up? And I was like, wow.
It's crazy because I like Carlos Mencia a lot.
Oh, we all did. He was like but he rocketed up the Comedy Central, remember?
Yes, he
His
did. He had
TV
his own
show?
TV show, everything. Like, I loved his stand-up comedy. It made me laugh so much. But until I realized, because of Joe Rogan, that all of this stolen material.
It was stolen material. It was, and he had all the proof. He stole from his Joe Rogan's buddy Ari.
Ari Shaffir, yeah.
Yeah, and a couple of his other friends. So Joe was sticking up for his friends, and calling him a fake.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, Joe, what are you doing, dude? Just not cool. And then you see, holy cow, he's right. Shame on you, Carlos. His show went.
Everything went. I haven't seen. I mean, I know Carlos Mencia still tours and stuff.
He gets heckled a lot. Rightfully so, I guess, but let it go. Let it go.
I mean, yeah.
Let it go.
Because I do believe in like parallel thinking, like I had a joke and someone else had a joke too. And it's like, oh, who had it first? But like, it is beyond a coincidence that Carlos Mencia had a lot of jokes that were just stolen from other comedians.
A lot.
And it's just too consistent.
Yeah, but the fact is, if I'm at a comedy show, I want to be entertained. If I think it's funny, haha. Even if I heard it for the first time or from someone else, I'm not gonna heckle the guy. I don't want to ruin this. Don't want to ruin the experience for everyone else around. The worst is like having a heckler next to you, talking trash to a comedian. You're like, dude, come on.
I didn't pay for this.
Yeah, I didn't pay for this.
You're not part of the experience, Mr. Heckler or Mrs. Heckler. They're probably just drunk and being obnoxious and trying to be part of the show. But oh gosh, hecklers! I'm just not pro heckler. I haven't I have not experienced a heckler who was good, who made a good point or anything like that. It's just stupid and obnoxious. Just shut up.
Correct. Another thing, I got a buddy, Lloyd Howell, that I used to work with, that's doing mic drop at Mania Comedy Club in Chandler. It's located 51 East Boston Street in Chandler, Arizona. I actually know the owner.
It's downtown, right?
Yeah, it's downtown.
Okay.
So I'm going to go do that. I'm going to get more details. I'll put it up on social media when the show is. Again, I know the owner because I coach his son in soccer.
I've never been to that
Which
comedy
cool.
club.
And,
Is it good?
And our sister was on that stage. Our sister's a comedian. She needs to get back out there.
She does
She's
need to get back
hilarious.
there, but
We don't say that just to say that, because she's our sister, because the other two suck. Just kidding. But she's hilarious when it comes to that. To get on a stage and just say comedy is like nerve wracking.
I'd check it out.
Yeah.
I've never been there though. I don't think
I'm
so.
going to go when my buddy plays. If you want to come, that's awesome. But I'm going to put it out on social media. And maybe next week, when I find out the dates and stuff, I'll put it out there. So Mic Drop Mania Comedy Club in downtown Chandler.
What day? Time?
I'm going to figure that out.
Okay. So stay tuned on
Stay tuned.
social media.
And that's all I got. What about you?
That's all I got. So just
All right.
end
Till
it.
next week, please like, subscribe, tell all your friends, and we'll go from there. Let's build this up. This is a community. We want to get it bigger. Help us get bigger. Thank you and have a great day. A great week.